Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Insider SA, your guide to living better. Join us today as we open up to our young achievers with the rise and rise of DJ Mo Flava as he and his wingman Luyanda Nene get out of the studio and into free falling. This home by interior designer Farai Chinya is a gallery for his fellow young artists to shine and create champagne living in Tshwane. Chart-topping indie rock artist Janie Bay shares the healthy habits and discipline she's needed to make it in music, as he prepares to break the world record for the longest solo unassisted row across the Atlantic. War photographer Luyanda Jacobs recounts how being handy with a camera has brought him a life of adventure. And graduating with a master's degree in sports physiotherapy while launching 2 businesses and empowering young women to run their lives on their own terms. That's all in a year's work for incredible Jolandi Jacobs. Who would dare achieve a new world record by rowing furthest solo and unassisted across the Atlantic? Try Luyanda Jacobs, a war photographer with a passion for adventure and who dares not know the meaning of impossible.
I was very lucky to have a family that's very supportive in the sense that if I came up with something or an idea, there was never someone to say, oh, that's impossible or that can't be done. And so it's just been slowly building this adventure resume. I guess it starts when you're a kid, when you discover new things and, there's never been, oh, I can't go there or I can't go further. It's always been, what else is there? I wanted a job that allowed me to travel, that allowed me to experience, which enabled me to see the world, which enabled me to meet all kinds of people, to learn. Photography was definitely the best start for me in terms of seeing what I can do and how far I can go.
Covering the uprisings in Libya and Syria, Ryan learned that second chances in life are rare and that he had to live on his own terms.
I wanted to be a conflict photographer. I wanted to be a war photographer. I didn't want to be any other type of photographer. And working in challenging situations and working in hostile environments made me realize and gave me what I needed. I know how to get to places that most people can't even imagine getting to. I know how to survive in hostile environments. That's a good thing. I think, the one downside about having this early adult life of all this excitement and adventure is that it set the bar very, very high. And that led to climbing and led to sailing. But essentially all I was doing after those years was trying to catch up with that same high, that same feeling. I wanted to row across the Atlantic from Cape Town to Barbados in December this year. It's 5,300, probably more, in nautical miles. But it is how I start to get to the sum of my ambition for adventures. And that is to become the first African person I've got to solo to the South Pole. And I don't even know how to ski. So my plan is to go from Cape Town up the west coast of Southern Africa to Namibia and then turn west, crossing the Atlantic Ocean with the Great Circular Route and the prevailing winds until I get to South America and then follow the coast to the Caribbean.
The immediate challenge is raising funds for his craft to be built here in Cape Town.
This boat's going to be my home for 4 months, probably longer. It needs to be self-sufficient. All power will be environmentally friendly and, generated by solar power and managed through batteries. I need to make my own water for 4 months, and that's a desalinator. Besides that, there's all the navigation, communications equipment that goes into it. There's the training, there's nutrition. 4 months of freeze-dried meals and oils is going to be not pleasant. My body will take an absolute beating. 4 months of isolation is something I've never experienced. I think the longest I've been alone is 10 days on a trail. It's one thing for me to say, oh, I can do this and I'll be all fine. But I don't really know unless I try it. But at the same time, I don't really mind being alone. I'm my best company. I can entertain myself for forever. And being alone for that long, on one hand, is terrifying, but on the other hand, it's maybe exactly what I need.
The big question is why?
You know, a big part of why I want to do this is representation, or the lack thereof in South Africa and globally, in the outdoor and adventure space. I do not see people like me represented in it. You know, we live in a very diverse country, and I don't see people like me. And that's something I want to change. Representation is a very, very powerful tool. It validates people, it encourages people, it inspires people.
The dedication to make his dreams happen comes from his mother and grandparents.
This is my roommate and partner for the next few months. You know, it's one thing to row a boat, but I need to be able to row a boat for months on end, every day. And a good way to build up that endurance and stamina is rowing on this salt rower. I just got this machine, and what I'm trying to do right now is familiarize myself with rowing. I need to build up my stamina, number one, and also discomfort. I think by embracing discomfort, so sometimes I row at 3 o'clock in the morning, sometimes I row at 10 o'clock at night, and it depends. Sometimes I'll go for 30 minutes, and then other times I try to row for 2 hours. I'm still 10 months away from my expedition, but I want to get my mind and body as prepared as possible.
Turning Ryan's physique and metabolism into an extreme endurance machine is Grant Hartzenberg's challenge.
He said he's got something quite crazy to do, and he asked if I wouldn't mind helping him. Immediately off the top of my head, he didn't have to go any further. I was just like, okay, cool, let's do it. Conditioning, 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 as much as I can. And then besides him sorting out his mind, get the body as right as can, and nutrition. And yeah, that's going to be the main aspect of his training.
Among his goals is to get more people experiencing the world for real, not from a little screen.
You know, my biggest goal in life is to make the most of myself. And yes, I'm a photographer and I love doing other things, and I do various things to make a living. But at the same time, it's not the be-all and end-all. It's not what I'm on this planet for. My purpose is adventure. And for me to make that dream come true, I need to dedicate everything, every waking second to making it come true. I know I'm not gonna change the world, but I think if I could inspire one kid to do something extraordinary or push that a little bit further, I think I will have succeeded.
His city is surrounded by the Atlantic. Beautiful to look at, but much more fun to cross.
The ocean is one of the last great wildernesses where it remains largely untouched. It's a desert. It's where I'll be able to push myself and test myself and see how far I can go, because it's unforgiving. It's just finding a goal, latching onto it, and doing whatever it takes to finish it.
His preparations are an achievement in themselves. Follow Ryan on Instagram and watch him fulfill the dreams he had as a child. Coming up, self-taught singer, songwriter and producer Janie Bay emerges from lockdown with a new album, Prisma, and shares how she and Dion D found love through music and life on the road.
Jy is my rots, jy het my gered. Jy is my, jy is alles wat ek nodig het. Hulle sê ons is mal, maar ek weet het lang al. Saam gaan ons die ligpunt in die donker moet soek. En ons is onverdoor.
Already a musical achiever at school, Janie Bay has been performing from the age of 12. Moving to Jeffreys Bay after school, teaching herself piano and guitar so she could write her own songs. Today, she's a SAMA-nominated recording artist with a new album and a lot to sing about.
Hi, my name is Janie Bay. I'm a singer-songwriter, musician, and music producer. Welcome to my home. Let's go upstairs and meet my partner.
Janie's move from the Cape to Pretoria has seen her career and personal life flourish.
So this is my home. This is Dion. He's my life partner and business partner, but you'll get to meet him a bit later. Yeah, so this is my home, and this is where a lot of my songwriting and initial work happens, so welcome. I got into the industry when I was in my early 20s. I was always part of music in some way from a young age. My brother and I were always singing together in bands, like in our teens, or I was in church, I was singing in church. I just love music, so I just realized this is really something that I want to do as a career. So I started writing in my early 20s, reaching out to other musicians on social media and other producers, just trying to get a network going.
In the process of building business relationships in the recording and touring industry, she struck a chord with Dion.
We met at my dad's place. It's a venue called the Sink Shack in Bronkhorstspruit, and Janie and her brother was touring at the time, and we met each other there, and we just clicked. Became friends for about 2 years, and then kind of fell in love with her.
In their time together, Dion has seen her music streamed 6 million times. And now he's literally joined the band.
So I'm also a musician. I've been in the industry pretty much my whole life because of the venue that my dad had. Always been in this game. I played for Joe Black for a while as a guitarist. And my role for Janie right now is I kind of help her with her management and bookings, and as well a guitarist, which is really fun because I get to tour with my wife, so to speak.
Written over lockdown, the latest release was co-produced by Janie, Dion and Ruan Graaf.
The album Prisma was a very fun project to do, mainly because all of us, that being me and Dion and Janie, we were all just on the same page from the get-go. So we were briefed by her. She played us some songs that she was kind of aiming for sound-wise. And then from there, she gave us a lot of freedom to just put our own take on the songs.
So my creative process, it differs. It depends on what I've maybe first come up with a song. I used to write a lot on my guitar, but when I started working a little bit more on software, like with a little MIDI keyboard, it just felt like it opened up my world of writing a lot more, and I just felt more free.
Today, she cuts a figure as healthy as her album sales, but Janie did once struggle with her weight. At the age of 15, however, she began walking every day, eating nutritious food, and she's never looked back.
So life gets super busy a lot of the time, and I really try to keep my fitness and my health up most of the time. And one of the ways I like to do that is to do a Pilates class with my friends Jean and Nolly, and we're at their house right now. So let's do this.
Pilates is a form of exercise that aims to strengthen, to increase flexibility, to increase posture, and to just increase overall fitness in the body in a gentle yet very effective way.
Staying fit is always important, and for me especially, I think you have a lot of late nights when you do gigs and sometimes even early mornings, but I think with everything that you do or any occupation that you're in, it's important to find times, even if it's just short workouts, and to make healthy choices when you eat is super important.
Her motivation to stay fit draws on the success she found when all her writing and gigging landed her a deal with a famous record label.
There's quite a few things that motivates me, but I think one thing is obviously music. So I love music, and it is definitely a decision because you have to keep motivating yourself. You have to get up in the morning and decide again, okay, I'm gonna do this, even though it's sometimes it's hard and you're kind of working for yourself as a musician as well, right? But I also really do love getting up in the morning and getting a workout in first thing. That really sets my day up really well.
If Janie's routine sees her walking every day that she can, she figured why not use the time to give some of the dogs which Debbie buys looks after a chance to stretch their legs.
Hi, Debbie. How are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
Good, nice to meet you.
Fantastic.
I'd love
Welcome to Witness.
Oh, thank you. I would love to walk a dog today and volunteer to do that if that's okay.
Perfect. So let's start by taking you on a tour of Wet Nose.
Okay.
Show you around a little bit, and then you can go and choose a dog and go and have some fun.
Okay, awesome. Let's do it.
Let's go. Yeah, so every single dog here is a rescue. We have currently about 320 dogs at the moment.
Yeah.
Our kennels are pretty full. Our cattery has about 80 cats in, and then of course there's the horses and the donkeys and a few farm animals and all of that. We have about just over 400 animals in total.
Wow.
And because we're a right to life place, they find homes. They get everything when they're here. They get absolutely every kind of medical treatment. You'll see just now the guys over there are all walking dogs. They get walked, they go to play runs every day. They don't just waste away in kennels. So yes, they could stay for a while, but they get really, really well loved and looked after in that while. And if you have a look at all our animals, they're all happy. Sometimes I feel sorry for them when they get adopted because,
Oh my.
Like her fondness for vintage clothing, Miss Bay chose to give a senior dog a stroll.
So I would still love to achieve a little bit more success in releasing songs. I'd love to still get some more of my music out there. And in my personal life, it's really just doing things that makes me super happy, like being with family and friends. That's definitely the most important. I think the best advice I can give to young up-and-coming artists is to you have to keep going, and you have to keep grafting, and you have to make a decision to wake up in the morning and say, I'm doing this for me because I'm passionate about it, and it's important to keep the passion. Don't let anything else lure you away from what you love, stay calm.
True achievers keep walking while never forgetting to help others to do the same. Right after this, from a childhood in Dube, Soweto to the #1 radio show in the nation, Mo Flava was never afraid of flying too high. And friend or fan, he wants you along for the ride. Mo Flava walks the talk in the proud tradition of Bob Mabena, Fat Joe, John Robbie and DJ Fresh. His mix of smarts, heart and charisma have seen him achieve top dog status in national radio.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Look at this place.
Oh, yes.
Yo.
Yes.
I mean, no wonder why this is my favorite spot in Cape Town. I mean, look at the view. Yo. I love it. Hi, my name is Mo Flava. I'm a radio personality currently doing the biggest morning show in the country, The Morning Flava on Metro, Monday to Friday, 5 to 9 a.m. Shout out to everybody who wakes up with us every single morning. You make our mornings great as much as we try to make your mornings just as awesome. So if I'm not doing that, I'm a club DJ. I play at the biggest events in the country, and I do a bit of TV work as well. And just going out there doing all the things I enjoy, you know, that's really what I'm all about. This weekend, we're rolling with the largest member, one of my good friends, Luyanda Nene. I've known him for many, many years. He'll explain why he's called largest. I'm not going to do that for him.
Dude, I don't even know why they call me the largest member, you know? But you know what? I'll take it. But anyway, my name is Luyanda Nene. I'm a media professional. I'm in the advertising space, and I love it a lot. And yeah, I'm excited to be in Cape Town.
This weekend is going to be a big one. And let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I've had a bucket list for 2022 on stuff I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Skydiving is one of them. Yeah?
There's no way I'm doing that. I can't be skydiving, dude. Yeah, now I'm getting heart palpitations. I was never ready for that.
Renowned DJ Casey Kasem said keep your feet on the ground and reach for the stars. Mo had other plans, and Rain Farai was happy to help.
welcome to Skydive Cape Town. We've been situated here for 25 years. It's 25 k's north of Cape Town Central. It's an amazing experience, the bucket list for pretty much everyone. So what you can expect is when you arrive, a quick briefing on what's going to happen. We'll harness you and explain the process of jumping out of a plane and landing safely.
So we arrived at the airfield. We got to meet the crew and the divers that are going to help us experience this whole skydiving, and they take us through the steps of what you need to do, what equipment you're going to use, how they're going to sort of gear you up, and they brief you properly so that when you get up there, you know exactly what to do with your feet, you know exactly what to do with your arms. Even when the parachute goes up, you know exactly what to do. So I think that's what gives me comfort.
Let's go skydiving! Woo!
If Luyanda was getting cold feet, his options were running out fast.
We take our passengers to 9,000 feet. It takes 15 minutes to fly there. We do a 30-second jump, reaching terminal velocity of 220 k's an hour. And then we open the parachute at about 4,500, 5,000 feet, and we have a joyride down to our beach landing.
Mo went first. Would his wingman chicken out?
When that door opens, it is showtime. Then they've got their own cameras rolling, and then it's the experience, and then when you jump out, they don't even give you a moment to think about it, or even change your mind. So all right, doors open, feet up, under, let's go.
I was this close to changing my mind. This close. I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah.
But hey, I did it.
And the beauty of it all is keeping your eyes open is the best thing you can do. So if anybody's gonna go skydiving, never close your eyes, because then what's the point? You know what I mean?
My heart is literally by my throat. The first 5 seconds was the most unbelievable thing I've ever experienced in my life, but that was definitely worth it.
How are you feeling, dude?
Reno, I'm on top of the world! Yeah!
Flava tells a pretty good story. This time he had proof to show his kids, Poka, Nkeletso, and Lebone.
That was explosive, exhilarating, adrenaline pumping, out of this world experience. Mo Flava in the air, waving my hands like I just don't care.
Heart-wrenching. I think my heart is still right up here, but definitely one for the books. Yeah, I'm glad my friend convinced me to do this. But wow, what an experience. That was the ultimate experience, and I still can't breathe, but okay.
It's crazy how, skydiving in a way is similar to life experience and just life in general. Like being up there, you gotta keep your eyes open, otherwise you're gonna miss it all.
Yeah.
So you gotta be in the moment. You've gotta be switched on. You've gotta take the risks, but knowing that, whatever you are there to do, is gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worthwhile. You know what I'm saying?
Well, what is life if you're not gonna take risks?
Exactly.
Just what Luyanda's friend thought when he took the graveyard shift in 2005. 14 years later, and this Flava is officially South Africa's favorite.
The inspiration behind my radio show is about entertainment and motivation, and just being on the pulse of what is going on. And if you can make people feel something when they're listening, keep them informed, and just keep them entertained and motivated, that for me is the joy in it. So that's what it's all about, yeah. Giving back is so important, and it's close to my heart. There's a saying in Sesotho that mutu ke mutu ka batho. You are who you are because of the people. And knowing where we are in the world, I think it's always important for anybody that's got the means to pay it forward and to help out in whatever way they can, to give people access in whatever way they can.
Mo's advice is to read, circulate, listen to knowledgeable people, and if the opportunity presents itself, try kayaking.
We are Atlantic Outlook. We're based at the V&A waterfront, and we're an adventure tourism company. We offer kayaking tours on the Atlantic Ocean and tandem bike rides down the promenade. So Mo Flava and Luyanda, we're going to set them up, jump on the Atlantic Ocean, go for a kayaking mission, try to find some dolphins. And then when they get back, we'll jump on our tandem bicycles, go for a bike ride down the promenade, soak up the atmosphere, and just enjoy the morning in Cape Town.
being out in the water is calming, you know? It's like the motion in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? You're almost like cruising, but at the same time, you got to keep it going. And the water is a beautiful place.
Yeah, always.
You know, especially for our lifestyles, because I mean, I'm always in the clubs, I'm always on radio. You know, I'm always on, and you're always busy as well. So it makes you relax. It just kind of puts you in a different groove, you know, a different tempo. And I think it's good for the mind.
Yeah.
It's good
tranquility.
For the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, good for the soul, and you know, just being out in the water, ocean views, and then the beautiful view of Table Mountain and Signal Hill from out there. I mean, that's
amazing.
That's something else, yeah.
This was a long way from Dube, Soweto, where Flava was born. Going to a boarding school aged 5 taught him to get along, and if you're his friend, it's for life.
I've known this clown since we're in school. The ideas that we shared, you know, were common ideas that we had together, things that we both believed in. Our backgrounds are similar, growing up in Soweto and all of that stuff. So
it's been 20 years now, eh?
Is it 20 years?
20 years, bro.
Time flies. Time flies.
When you're having fun.
And he hasn't grown up one bit in 20 years. You know, so I think it's great to have friends that you can lean on, and he's a friend that I can lean on, you know, in good times and in bad times. You know what I'm saying? If I need advice, whatever it is, from the biggest thing to the smallest thing, and I think you have to take a moment to appreciate that.
Wow. Is that how you feel about me?
That's how I feel about you, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but
I know it's a bit awkward. One thing that people don't know about Luyanda is that he cries every time he hears a deep house song that speaks to his soul, that pulls strings in his heart. He just starts crying. You'll be like, "Ish, ended," and then you'll start, and then I know, oh.
What people don't know about Moeti is that he's actually such a stickler for grooming. I mean, he does his nails, you know, he likes his hair to be, you know, prim and proper. I'm always fighting with him. He tells me to come at this time, and then he takes another hour or so to get ready. And I'm like, guy, you be on time for once in your life.
Being Mo Flava is tough business.
Oh, please. Oh, please.
Yes, he's living the dream. At the same time, he offers those who think they've got talent time behind the mic to show if they too belong at the table.
So after a long day of great activity, the perfect place to wrap it all up is a society bistro, which I absolutely love. I mean, look at this place, you know, there's a feel about it, right?
Look at the brickwork.
The brickwork, there's a nostalgic feel, there's a raw feel. I love it, right? Yeah. And that's the beauty about Cape Town. So many wonderful places to check out.
Society Bistro has been around for 18 years. We are a contemporary French and Italian bistro. Today we opted to serve the guys very traditional food, the filet à poivre, which is with pepper sauce and hand-cut chips, butter, wilted spinach, and then the risotto is a very traditional risotto prepared with tomato and brandy and then served with de-shelled prawns.
Bro, I'm full. I've had so much food, great food. I can see you enjoyed it as well, so that's great.
No, I did.
It's this place though, isn't it? It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's a nice scenery.
I think Cape Town has just proven to be such a special place for us, and what a great time we've had out here. It has set me up beautifully for 2022 because, I mean, I was just thinking of my radio show and how much I want to do with it, you know, changing people's lives and having an impact, giving people an opportunity to record their radio demos, which is something I'm also excited about. So I just want to go out there and have a fabulous year. Yeah. And I think we all should.
Yeah. And I think, you know, as he always says, live and let live.
That's right. Yeah, man.
Go.
Thanks for being a good friend.
Yes, my boy. Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Shimanaka.
Banaka. Listen, Insider SA, thank you so much for having us. Thanks for allowing us to have a blast and to just be great. We're wishing everybody a fabulous 2022. And let's just do what we do.
Just ahead, interior design wasn't where Farai Chinya thought he was headed, but a course correction into renovating homes brought out the artist within. And with this talent, there is no ceiling. Studying international relations is a strange choice for a man whose achievements now find him the creative director of his own interior design company. But on site at his recent renovation project in Tshwane, we found his ability to relate may be his winning edge.
Hello Insider SA, this is Farai Chinya and welcome to our latest project in Ferryglen. The home comprises of 5 bedrooms, 3 living areas. Come through and take a look at some of the other exciting spaces that we have in store for you.
Farai's commitment to promoting local art as an essential in design is shared by his MD, Lerato Semenya, who sees it as a point of pride.
The art suits the owners of the home in the fact that it's a celebration of young talent and achievement. The artist, the homeowner, the designers, all wonderfully vibrant young achievers who are making waves in their own individual crafts, and what a wonderful celebration to be able to bring it into a melting pot to celebrate this home. In the entrance hall, that's a piece by Tebogo Mwerane, and it really is just a celebration of ancestry, of Africa's continent, as well as the future, and being able to fuse those 3 things together. And I think every area of the space really echoes that and how we feel about the design in the house.
The designer views one particular part of the house as a masterpiece of its own.
This is our entertainment area. With this space, what we did is create 3 spaces that are usually different and measure them into one. First, we have the bar. With the bar, what we did is create something that was going to have a 3D effect. We did wood, we did stone, and then we did brass as well. You can see these elements also transition to the back wall. With the back wall, we then added LED lights. From the bar, we then transition into the wine cellar and champagne bar. With the champagne bar, what we then did is use a different type of wood. So this is a champagne color, just to go with the theme. But we also carried a lot of things that we used in the bar. This would be your brass elements and also the stone tops that we have here.
Where better to slowly savor a fine local red wine than here, while binge-watching a series.
On this side, this is where we introduced the home cinema. What we wanted to do with this space was something a bit different, not your typical cinema you'd find in a house. So we introduced a very large couch that is extra length, extra 2 seating instead of just other recliners that you'd find. So with this space, we added wall paneling, but then with the panels, we carry them over onto the ceiling. So these are good for acoustics. We also use this just to soundproof the room a little bit more. With all our projects, we make custom furniture because not pieces that you find in a store are going to fit in every space. We had to create technical drawings that I gave to my very good friend Clarissa, who manufactures furniture.
Working in concert with Farai and the client, Clarissa interprets mood boards into drawings for every item. As a team, they talk color, texture, and by the time each new piece has been custom manufactured off-site, then installed, it already feels perfectly at home.
So this is the living room. So behind me is the TV unit. It has a very nice clean design. We did some V-groove lines on there. The drawers at the bottom makes it quite functional as well. So the coffee table's here in front of me. It's a standard block design coffee table. We did a combination of a wood grain as well as a Duco color, just to tie in all the stuff in the room. So now we're stepping into the dining area. The dining area, we have the dining table, which is a nice U-shaped dining area with a pop of glam brought through with a little bit of a brass trim on the leg. And then we have the sideboard, which is functional from both sides. So that gives you more storage space and it just ties in with all the colors in the room.
The way the interiors and architecture create such magic is best experienced upstairs.
This is our main bedroom. With this space, when we started, it was just one big wide room. And what we wanted to do was to keep it open, but also demarcate it without necessarily closing it up. That's where we came up with the idea of creating this slate. But also to create that support that you need because of our high ceilings, we then added in these brass blocks.
The owner's fondness for art extends to their passion for style, as showcased here.
One of my favorite spaces to design in a main bedroom will be the walk-in closet. What we did with this space is we kept some areas open and others closed. Also, with the essential use of LED lighting, these pieces tend to glow. We then had this center console that we then put in here. Things that you use on a daily basis and you want to see them all the time, we then put them on the top where you've got the glass units. Everything else is then kept under the counter where we've got drawers that you pull out and back in.
Farai's eye for layering makes his interiors feel more like outfits by a fashion designer.
We now are in our bedroom area. We've got the bed, which is like right here, also facing out onto this space, which becomes the living room for the bedroom. With this area, we decided to use quite neutral colors. The idea with the bedroom is you almost want it to be your safe haven where you run away and escape from the world. We evidently started from the slates that have got the bit of the gold detail. But to continue with that, we then brought it in a little bit of the artwork that we've got in the space. With walls and other areas in the house, some have wallpaper, just creating a different dimension. And on the other walls, we had paneling. The idea with paneling is that it gives you a 3D effect and not necessarily something that is just as simple as wallpaper.
The X factor is the natural light, pouring in and bringing every texture to life.
So when we started with the project, this was just like a big wide space. We then created different demarcations, starting with the formal living room. And in the middle of the room, that's where we've got our kitchen. Next to the kitchen, we do have our dining room. Immediately after that, we have got our kids' lounge. To make sure that we don't close up the space, we made sure that the vaulted ceilings became the center of the house. Our lighting runs through on the main beam in the middle, and we've got other pendants that just drop by.
Framed in glass by 6-meter-high ceilings, the high-felt skies make an epic work of art.
This is the kitchen. So the family spends a lot of time together. What we would try to do is to make sure that this also becomes multifunctional. We have got integrated appliances that we added on, and then the cupboards also, just to create a bit of glamour, we added LED lighting and stone tops that we handpicked.
The owners wanted a harmonious space to raise their sons, a creatively stimulating one too.
The particular painting that you can see behind me is done by an artist called Thabiso Dakamel. And really what's so uniquely special about the work that he does, and specifically this painting, which is called A Letter to Self, it ties right back in to the notion of self-expression, the notion of being real to self, and the notion of, in fact, creating the universe which one wants to see. So we draw inspiration ourselves from the art that we curate and the relationships that we have with artists, and we use that and translate that into real, tangible results for our clients.
If it is ever too soon to learn an appreciation for form, color, and pattern, the client's two boys never got that memo.
I absolutely love designing kids' rooms. No longer do we have to do cartoon characters or these other multicolored rooms. And the beautiful thing with kids these days is that they actually tell you what they need. For this 8-year-old, they love the colors yellow and gray. And also they love blues and some dark accents, which is not the typical thing that you'd find in a kid who is not even 10 years old yet. So we made sure that all these elements were designed into the space. And he was so ecstatic in getting this room.
It would be a shame for this festival of design to not be seen by more eyes. So it's good to know the family enjoy having visitors over.
So this is our guest bedroom. For this area, we wanted to use warm colors that we've used somewhere else in the house as well, so that it's almost a continuation of all the spaces that we've had. We paneled the walls, and instead of just using a usual color like your whites, we then turned it into a burgundy. When we speak of the openness of the house, all the different wings lead out onto this amazing deck, which actually also houses the swimming pool. All right, guys, thank you very much for coming to visit our farmhouse. I hope there's one or two tricks that you managed to learn that you can implement in your own spaces. Until our next project, cheers.
International relations will have to do without Farai's talents. Interior design is only too happy to have him. Still to come, from a master's to a PhD, all while starting new businesses and helping her fellow women to get their dreams up and running. Whatever Jolandi Jacobs is made of, we need more of it.
Sponsored by Capitec. Simplify banking. Live better.
It's hard to keep pace with Jolandi Jacobs' achievements. Having graduated in physiotherapy and started her own business while researching and lecturing, she's also empowering fellow women every step of the way.
Hi Inside SA, my name is Jolandi Jacobs. I'm a sports physiotherapist based in Pretoria. I'm the proud founder of the Running Raspberries, and welcome to my space. Today we're at Kalitzia Residence. This is a residence I stayed in when I was studying, and this is a female-only residence. And maybe after an entire day of studying or after being at the hospital, you'd like to go out for jogs. But the problem we're experiencing here is we had a few incidents where ladies were assaulted on streets, going out for a little jog, physically assaulted, but also really verbally abused. So this is where the idea sparked of Running Raspberries. So Running Raspberries is a female running community with the aim of providing a safe environment for females and also a very uplifting, supportive, encouraging environment.
The sports body's rehabilitation practice she started puts all the theory that she lectures about each day on its feet and achieving results.
My passion in sports is based on mostly the love of sports and the love of working with athletes. So I like working with athletes that's driven, they want to get back on the field, they want to perform at their best. And we need to make sure we equip these athletes in terms of conditioning, injury prevention, technique. If you really address the entire well-being of the player, you'll see it in his or her performance on the field. So that kind of integration and interaction with the players is actually my passion and burns my heart for sports.
Jolandi lives by the ethos that asks, what is the value of your greatest accomplishment if it's not to change the world into a better place?
So the Running Raspberries started in Pretoria. There's a few girls that just came to the run. And the word just spread, and I remember one Wednesday we were about 30 females in the street. So we decided, okay, it's a big need that we've started to address now. Let's spread this idea to other communities as well. So we have 24 communities all over the country now with community managers, and females get together, they run 2 times a week, and then we also provide them with a database. So we have a website and everything for weight loss program, how to run your first 5K, how to lose weight and run, how to run your first 10K, how to run a marathon. We also have nutritional support online, and I also do injury prevention and injury support.
Jolandi approached me in 2021 just to help the group out with some nutritional support. So whenever one of the girls have any questions or are curious about nutrition or just seeking some advice, they can always contact me for whatever support, so specifically weight loss as well.
I can run 10Ks. If I can run 10Ks, I can do everything. So in the community, I'm inspiring young girls. I take them from the street, so I put them on the group so they can just be the best selves that they want.
When at first Jolandi asked me to join on the runs, I didn't think I would because I've always kind of been an introvert and meeting new people have always kind of scared me, but I ended up sticking with it, and I've learned to start conversations with people without them having to come to me first. So for me, this group really does mean a lot because it helped me to just get a bit more out of my shell.
Having established this national movement and her sports physio practice while graduating with a master's all in 1 year, Jolandi's now doing her PhD.
My schedule is really busy at the moment because I have 2 entrepreneurial businesses, and I also am studying full-time and also lecturing at the university. So I don't have a lot of time to waste, and I need a banking provider in my life that makes my life simple and not take up time for me to just do normal banking services. So I'm sure Capitec will provide me with that kind of client support that I need, and I'm ready for the next journey with them. Since since Capitec's also new to its field and making quite a big impact in the industry, I think we relate as millennials to it because we're on the go. We need our lives to be simple, automated, and innovative, creative. It was so easy now to download the app and to establish my account online. I just did it now after a run at a nice coffee shop, no hassles. I had everything I needed right here to open it up. So that's the kind of partner I'm looking for when it comes to banking. Thank you Inside SA for joining us on a run today and for getting to know my story and the entire background of the Running Raspberries. I challenge all the females out there to get out there, get active and empower other women in your community. Thanks.
Switching to Capitec has never been more easy, fast and secure. And you don't even have to visit a branch to do it. Simply download the app, take a selfie, enter your SAID or passport number, and with your new account, have your card delivered straight to your door. Get more of the Insider SA online. Follow, connect, engage, and be inspired to live better with the Insider SA. Watch the show Monday evenings at 5:30. Repeat Saturday at 1 on S3.